You think you decide how your salary is spent. Unfortunately, you don't. Because by the time your money hits your account, a big part of it is already gone. Not physically, but structurally. And unless you understand where it goes, you'll keep feeling broke, no matter how much you earn. That's why in this video, we'll analyze where your money goes and most importantly, how you can regain control of your money. My name is Afagza Sifuna. You are all much welcomed. Let's look at 5 places your money goes to. The first place is the invisible statutory deductions. Before you even touch your money, it's already shrinking. And that is by law, not by your choice. In Kenya, statutory deductions take a real cut. According to KRA and NSSF, pay tax can go up to 35% depending on your income band. Case in point, those who are earning upwards of 800k, any earning above that is imposed 35% income tax. Take an example, someone who is earning maybe 100,000 Kenya shillings. After imposing payee, NSSF, SHA, their take-home amount is roughly 70k. Basically, 30k is gone to the government, and you haven't even spent a shilling yet. And then, the second place your money goes to is inflation. That is a silent tax. Now, your money hits your account, but it's already losing value. And this is so because according to Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the country averages inflation at somewhere between 5 to 7%. This has been the rate in recent periods. Even more recently, the month of April, the annual rate was 5.6%. For those who don't understand such terms, inflation is the rate at which prices of commodities and services are rising, therefore shrinking your purchasing power. Looking and even assuming the recent rate of 5.6%, you earning a net of 70k amounts to you basically having disposable income of 66k, because 4k is consumed by inflation, which most of the times you don't really see. You just feel it through the increase in prices of maybe food, through the adjustments in the prices of fuel, and even adjustment in rental prices, because landlords out there are also adjusting rent annually to cater for inflation. Basically put, your money is worth less the moment it hits your account. And then the third place your money goes to is you servicing debts. Debts take a good chunk of your money. And we are all in this because the economy has quite become tough in recent times. So a good number of Kenyans are relying on overdrafts in form of debts. They are relying on borrowing from mobile loan applications for them to be able to cover any expense gaps they have. And even a good chunk of Kenyans are maybe relying even on salary advances. Now, what happens once they get paid? When your income comes in, you'll spend a good chunk of that money on repaying these loans, whether it is Fuliza, M-Shwari, KCB M-Pesa, repaying salary advance, and effectively your salary is gone before you even think about spending your hard-earned cash on other things. And then the fourth place where salary goes is fixed costs that take the biggest chunk of your pay cut. Interesting statistic is that globally, over 60% of people's disposable income is going towards catering for their fixed costs. And in Kenya, it is actually higher than that. Because assuming someone who's getting a net of 70k in a city like Nairobi, maybe they're spending 25k on rent, 15k on food, transport takes about 8k, utilities give it 5k, you're talking about electricity, water bills, internet, you name it. That already tells you over 75% of your net salary is gone before they even think about saving, investing, or even enjoying their money. That is how insane it is. And then the fifth place where your money goes before you even spend it is lifestyle expectations. Now, all these things have happened. You've paid tax, you pay debts, okay? Fixed costs. Whatever is left doesn't actually stay. Because for most people out there, they utilize that for lifestyle expectations. Whether it is social pressures, whether it is their habits. Case in point, eating out during the weekend, okay? For example, subscriptions, talk about Netflix, Spotify, you name it. Talk about people wanting to upgrade their mobile phones, maybe send money to their family back at home. These individually might seem like small expenses, but together they wipe out what is left. So, let us pause and reflect. What is actually happening in this particular context? You see, you get paid every month, but before you spend your salary, it's already being taken up by 4 broad categories. The first category is government, through taxes and other statutory deductions. The second category through economy, through inflation. Third, through your past decisions, basically you paying debts and anything you owe people out there. And then fourth, lifestyle structure, through fixed costs, entertainment, you name it. That's why even people earning more amount of money than you still feel stuck. That tells us no amount of salary seems enough for most people because the system consumes your income before you control it. With that knowledge now, what are you supposed to do? Here is how you take back control. First things first, pay yourself before everything else. Before you pay rent, you pay anything, pay yourself. And I'm saying so because a good chunk of people out there neglect themselves. You find, for example, even someone is wearing the same shoe for 3 years. They're not doing self-development, and yet technology and job market is becoming competitive. Pay yourself to also advance. Second thing, reduce your fixed costs. This is the biggest lever which you can capitalize on. Don't go for those small things like, for example, denying yourself lunch money while you are working, etc. Reduce your fixed costs. For example, if you're earning net of 70K, you are paying rent of 25K. Maybe that rent is too big for you. Look for a house somewhere between 15K to 18K. If, for example, you are using Uber daily, basically ride-hailing services, think about using Matatu. These fixes you're gonna be making on fixed costs are gonna go a long way to assist you handle your money better. The third thing which you need to do is kill high interest debt very fast. Debt is a beast, more so if you leave it to run away. So prioritize paying off your debts and get out of the habit of you getting into debt irregularly. That way, you're gonna be able to ensure you have a good chunk of money, or most of it, for you to be able to spend. And then the fourth thing you need to do is counter inflation. See, inflation is increasing somewhere about 5%, 7% per year. Think about how else you can store your money for you to be able to counter inflation. Think about money market funds, government bonds, SACCO deposits, you name it. At the end of the day, you are thinking about where else you can put your money for that money to increase at a higher rate compared to you storing money in cash, because inflation is continuously increasing. So look for an alternative. For example, if your investment in government bonds give you maybe 9%, that is gonna tell you you're gonna be beating inflation come the end of the year. And then the fifth thing you need to do is invest. Start investing regardless of the amount of money you're gonna put in. Most people out there think that they need to put in a huge chunk of money for them to say they are investing. Start small. Start small and you're gonna see the big strides you're gonna make over time. Having said that, as you can see, your salary isn't actually disappearing. It is being claimed. The system and existing structures are claiming your salary before you touch it. So, next time you feel broke, don't just ask, how do I earn more? Ask, where is my money going before I even spend it? And once you figure that out, you're gonna come up with ways to control the flow of your money, and at the end, you'll be able to see how to counter so that you are able to utilize the most of the money you are earning through your sweat. What do you all think about this video? I hope you've learned a thing or two. Cheers! I look forward to share with you other amazing videos next time.